Tigray People Liberation Front is holding a high stakes meeting, discussions ongoing. Welcome to my views and news. Thanks for watching the channel. Three stories in this video. Firstly, meeting of the political party, largest political party in Tigray, whose license was revoked yesterday, which was delisted as a political party. Secondly, a Fano commander has surrendered, and he is one of the main tier 2 Fano commanders. He's affiliated with a group. The group is led by a Fano commander about whom we have been hearing rumors that he could also surrender. Lastly, Russia-Ukraine talks starting today. Let's start with Russia-Ukraine talks in Istanbul, Turkey. Russia and Turkey are going to start direct talks today. The two have sent their delegations to Ankara, to Istanbul, I think, not Ankara. It was being said that Putin and Zelensky could hold these talks. They could lead the talks, but yesterday we heard that Putin, the Russian president, was not going to lead the delegation. Zelensky was ready to lead the delegation to come to Turkey, but Putin did not show any interest in leading the talks. That is why Zelensky is not expected to lead the talks. The delegation level talks starting today in Turkey. Good to see that, by the way. The two held talks in Belarus too. I remember when I covered Russia-Ukraine war for a few days when it erupted. I think I covered some developments regarding direct talks between them in Belarus, if I'm not wrong. So, but then war went on and talks could not really take any shape. Now, US wants some sort of ceasefire in Russia-Ukraine conflict. US has been twisting the arms of Ukraine to agree to a ceasefire deal with Russia. Why? Because US wants to confront China, basically. Trump is a businessman. He sees China as the real rival. He wants to counter Chinese economic growing superiority over the US. That is why he wants to separate China and Russia. He's soft on Russia and tough on China. Meanwhile, EU is imposing more sanctions on Russia for the 18th time. EU is considering imposition of new sanctions on Russia. US has imposed sanctions on import of fuel from Russia, but some shipping companies have been involved in transporting fuel, exporting fuel from Russia to other countries, and these shipping companies could be put under sanctions. Let's see what happens in Turkey today. This war had a global impact on food prices, on inflation. So the war should end. It will be good for the global economy. Secondly, viewers, a Fano commander has surrendered with dozens of other fighters. Stidalo Dassi is the name of the Fano commander. 24 hours ago, Prosperity Party-backed sources shared pictures of the commander, confirmed that Sidalo has surrendered. Dozens of other Fano fighters accompanied him when he surrendered. So he was not alone when he surrendered. Interestingly, several ENDF officers and Amhara government officials welcomed Sidalo Dassi when he surrendered. It just shows how important he is. From which Fano group is Sidalo Dasi. Sidalo is from Skandar Naga's Amhara Fano people's organization. And it was being rumored that Skandar could also sign some sort of peace deal with the government. He could lay down arms. It is being rumored for several months, but we don't know because Amhara Fano National Force has been established. Skandar, Mekatao, some other commanders, Colonel Fantahun, etc. They're not part of this new organization. Are they considering laying on arms? Not clear, but Sidalo is one of the main commanders of Skandar Naga's group. So his surrender indicates that Skandar might be considering different options about his struggle. Will he revert to political struggle? Will he continue armed struggle? Will he make peace with other armed groups? Will he lay down other foreign groups? Will he sign peace deal with the government? All that remains to be seen. Another Fano commander from South Gondar also surrendered. His name is Adamso Vase. He has been operating in Farta, Warada, South Gujam. His pictures have also been released by the government of backed sources. Last it was TPLF Tigray People Liberation Front is holding an emergency meeting. The meeting ongoing these minutes when I'm recording this video. Why? TPLF wants to respond to the announcement made by Nabe National Election Board of Ethiopia, which yesterday revoked the license of the TPLF. TPLF now is not eligible to contest any election in Ethiopia. It cannot carry out any political activity. It is not a registered entity in Ethiopia. By the way, people say, Sajid, the revocation of TPLF status amounts to dissolution of Pretoria deal. Pretoria deal has been dissolved. I don't agree with that because what is happening could be called a violation of Pretoria. Acts of the government, acts of TPLF might not be in conformity with Pretoria, but Pretoria still stands. Pretoria will cease to exist when one of the two parties officially withdraws from it. The day TPLF says we're withdrawing from Pretoria, or the government says we withdraw from Pretoria, Pretoria will cease to exist. Pretoria is intact. When Pretoria was signed, TPLF was not a registered political party. Back then, when Pretoria was signed in November 2022, TPLF was a terrorist entity according to Ethiopian constitution. Terrorist designation was removed after the signing of Pretoria. So, lifting, revocation of TPLF status does not mean that Pretoria has been dissolved. Now, TPLF is holding a meeting to respond to NAB's announcement. It's good to see that whenever big developments happen, political, etc., TPLF is never quick to issue statements. It always calls party meetings. Central committee, executive committee meetings are held. Then detailed discussions are held. And after that, TPLF issues a policy statement. So there is internal democracy in the party, but when it comes to allowing other political players to have political space in Tigray, here TPLF shows no flexibility. Yes, TPLF introduced democracy in Ethiopia. TPLF-led EPRDF held elections in Ethiopia. There were questions about the transparency of elections, but at least elections were held, though elections were not ideal in terms of transparency. But TPLF never allowed genuine strong opposition to flourish. VP the same. VP perhaps more strict than TPLF. It does not tolerate any opposition. It wants to have opposition of its choice. It wants to create friendly opposition. TP wants its share in power, integrai. But when it comes to giving share to opposition parties, real opposition parties, to have a political foothold in the country, in Addis Ababa, PP is not showing any flexibility. So ruling parties in Ethiopia, they don't want to see any opposition. Let's see what TPLF decides. I don't think TPLF will announce withdrawal from Pretoria. It will, perhaps in coming hours, it will issue a statement and it will reiterate its commitment to Pretoria. It will say that we'll explore the revenues to continue engagement with the government, with the mediators, with Afghan observers, and we don't want any war, and we're not preparing for war. So this type of statement is expected. Let's see what happens. In coming, I will do a video on that. Thank you for watching.